El Brit, God of Covenant. Yehovah Elohi El Brit. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me and stir me and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself. And you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Nehemiah chapter 10. In the view of all this, we are making a binding covenant, putting it in writing, and having it sealed by our leaders, our Levi'im and our Kohanim. On the sealed document were the names of Nehemiah and Nehemiah the Tershata, the son of Hakaliah, Zedekiah, Seraiah, Azariah, Yirmiah, Peshkur, Amariah, Milkiah, Hattush, Shavaniah, Miluk, Harim, Mirimot, Ovadiah, Daniel, Ginton, Baruch, Mashallum, Aviyah, Meimin, Ma'aziah, Bilgai, and Shemaiah. These were the Kohanim. The Levi'im were Yeshua the son of Azaniah, Binui, a descendant of Henadad, Kadmiel, and their kinsmen, Shavaniah, Hodiah, Klita, Playa, Hanan, Micah, Rekov, Hashaviah, Zakur, Shariviah, Shavaniah, Hodiah, Bani, and Beninu. The leaders of the people, Perosh, Pakat Moav, Elam, Zatu, Bani, Buni, Azgad, Bavai, Adoniah, Bigvai, Adin, Atur, Hezkiah, Azur, Hodiah, Hashum, Bitzai, Harif, Anatot, Neavai, Mizpaish, Meshulam, Hazri, Mishazavel, Zadok, Yadu'ah, Platya, Hanan, Anaya, Hoshea, Hananiah, Hashuv, Ha-Lokesh, Pilka, Shovech, Rachum, Mashavna, Ma'asiyah, Achaya, Hanan, Anan, Maluch, Harim, and Ba'ana. The rest of the people, the Kohanim, the Levi'im, the gatekeepers, and the singers, and the temple servants, and all who had separated themselves from the peoples of the lands, to the Torah of God, along with their wives, sons, and daughters, everyone capable of knowing and understanding, joined their kinsmen and their leaders in swearing an oath, accompanied by a curse in case of non-compliance, as follows. We will live by God's Torah, given by Moshe, the servant of God, and we will perform and obey Aleph Tav, all the mitzvot, rulings, and laws of Yehovah, our master. We will not give our daughters as wives to the peoples of the land, or take their Aleph Tav daughters as wives for our sons. If the peoples of the land bring Aleph Tav merchandise or food to sell on Shabbat, we will not buy from them on Shabbat or on a holy day. We will forego planting and harvesting our fields during Aleph Tov, the 7th year, and collecting debts then. We will impose on ourselves a yearly tax of 1/3 of a shekel, 1/7 of an ounce of silver, for the service of the house of God, for the showbread, for the regular grain offerings, for the regular burnt offerings, for the offerings on Shabbat, on Rosh Chodesh, and on the designated times, and all other holy times, for the sin offerings, to make atonement for Israel, and for all the work connected with the house of our God. We, the Kohanim, the Levi'im, and the people, will cast lots in connection with the wood offerings, so that it will be brought to the house of our God according to our fathers' clans at specified times, year by year, and then burned on the altar of Yehovah our God as prescribed in the Torah. Every year that we bring the Aleph Tov first fruits of our land and the first fruits of the fruit from every kind of tree to the house of Yehovah. We will also bring the Aleph Tov firstborn of our sons and of our livestock as prescribed in the Torah, and the firstborn of our herds and flocks to the house of our God, to the Kohanim ministering to the house of Yehovah. Aleph Tov, we will bring the first fruits of our dough, our contributions, the fruit of every kind of tree, wine, and olive oil, to the Kohanim in the storeroom of the house of our God, along with the tents from our land, from the Levi'im, since they, the Levi'im, and the tents in all the cities where we farm. The Kohen, descendants of Aaron, is to be with the Levi'im, and with Levi'im take tents. The Levi'im will bring the Aleph Tov tenth of the tenth to the house of our God, to the storerooms for the supplies. For the people of Israel and the descendants of Levi will bring the Aleph Tov contributions of grain, wine, and olive oil to the rooms where the equipment for the sanctuary, the ministering Kohanim, the gatekeepers, and the singers are. We will not abandon the house of our God. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this covenant 10th chapter of Nehemiah? We can love Yehovah by binding ourselves to His covenant with joy. Love Yehovah by committing to holiness in daily life. Love Yehovah by honoring His house with faithful stewardship. How can we love our neighbors as we love ourselves and as Yeshua loves us? By encouraging others to walk in covenant faithfulness, supporting them in obedience to Yehovah's word. How can we bear one another's burdens? By sharing the responsibility of upholding Yehovah's covenant together, so none carry it alone. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found? 1. Faithfulness. The people pledged to keep Yehovah's Torah. 2. Obedience. They committed to Sabbath offerings and holiness. 3. Generosity. They gave freely for the service of Yehovah's house. What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Brit. Covenant. Verse 29. They joined with their brethren to enter into a curse and an oath to walk in God's law. How can we find Yeshua in the scriptures? By renewed covenant points to Yeshua, mediator of the new covenant. The commitment to holiness foreshadows the bride's preparation for Messiah. The giving for Yehovah's house points to Yeshua's zeal for his Father's house. Mitzvah response, Torah-based, mitzvah, Exodus 24, verse 7. We will do and we will obey. A response might look like this: I will embrace Yehovah's covenant with willing obedience and joyful devotion. Hebrew declaration, Kol Ashir, Amar Yehovah, Na'asi, Vanishma. All that Yehovah has spoken, we will do and obey. End with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and He will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of His being towards you, bringing order, and He'll provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of His being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom.